yards.
And the latest in high school sports.
Yes, he is. Touchdown.
It's Sports Blitz Live now. Brought to you by S&S Discount Tire and JR's Sports Bar and Grill.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am your guest host, Andy Graham, alongside Brett Pritchard, and we will be with you until...
We done got fired up in the studio.
We will be with you until 9 o'clock today. And let me just say, it is a good thing that usually the Lake Martin Sports Roundup takes place at JR's and not in this studio, because it is definitely football season. You can tell that. The paint is peeling in the walls in here in the studio, and the conversation that was just had here at Lake Broadcasting. But that's kind of why we love it. 32 days away from meaningful college football. 24 days away from Benjamin Russell and Stanhope Elmore in a jamboree, kicking off the high school football season. We'll continue tonight with our SEC preview. Up on the docket is Texas A&M and the Kentucky Wildcats. We'll talk about their upcoming season, look at their schedule, look at what they have coming back, look at their strengths and weaknesses.
We have to.
Yeah, really. Yes, we do. And we got two great guests coming up. Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com and Jeff Drummond from AllWildcats.com. Those two guys run those websites and know more about Texas A&M Kentucky than certainly we do. So we'll have some information that news you can use. We'll talk about anything you'd like to talk about. 256-234-6221. Brett, it's good to see you today.
That's right, man. Saturday. Saw you Saturday. And
I did see you.
Back here Tuesday. And look, you know, it's fun to get in these arguments and you defend your team. But, you know, one of the things is it all boils back down to what we've talked about 100 times, that Alabama's got to get knocked off the pedestal. And a lot of naysayers out there on any given year, Andy, when you look at it and you're getting looks from inside the glass, I think what happens is that until you prove your worth, it's really hard to defend. So you can go to bat for your team, but Auburn's had its opportunities over the past several years to really exceed expectations. They haven't been able to do that. We ran down the list of teams in the SEC and their records against Nick Saban, and really it really is crazy that Auburn has the best record in the conference against Nick Saban outside of Ole Miss, and and that's only 3 wins since 2007. So it has been a dominating performance by him and that program, and until somebody can prove themselves and knock them from the top, then that's going to be what is predicted every year in and year out. I think what makes Auburn fans mad is that, okay, Alabama has secured themselves at the top, but along the way, Auburn could have been right there. If they lost to Alabama, then that doesn't mean as much as if you lose to a subpar Georgia team 2 years in a row that you should have won. You know, or you go and you lose a 4 overtime game in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or you lose some games that you're not supposed to lose. That's the Auburn, the roller coaster effect has been what's worn the fans out.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's about, I mean, if you're in the SEC right now in this era right now, you have to be a complete team. Alabama's proven over the last 6-7 years that they are going to put a complete team on the field. They're going to be good offensively, they're going to be good defensively, they're going to be good special teams. There have been some defenses throughout in the SEC that have been good enough to challenge Alabama, but maybe the offense wasn't as good. LSU's an example of that. There have been times when Auburn's offense was good enough, but their defense was not as good. So you got to be a complete team. You have to put it all on the field at the same time, and you have to, you know, not everybody has the depth as some other teams. So therefore, you have an injury to a quarterback. You don't just plug the next man up. Usually.
Well, how about your starter needs to perform?
This helps
instead of worrying about a backup. I mean, and I'm not blaming all of that on Sean White, because I think at times he performed well, and of course he's battled injuries his whole career. But Auburn's had subpar quarterback play over the last 15 years. Only spurts of good quarterback play, and again at every level, Andy, especially in the SEC, If you have a good quarterback, it gives you a chance every year. If you don't have a good quarterback, or if you have a mediocre quarterback, you're not going to perform in this league. That's just the bottom line. Adam was in here, and we were going back and forth. He was talking about, can we stop anybody? Well, Auburn did stop a lot of people last year. The problem was you lose to Georgia 13-7. Your defense did their job. In the first half against Alabama last year, they did their job. They got 2 turnovers. They couldn't move the ball. Auburn would get good field position, couldn't move the ball. It was a total anemic offense. So you got to be able to score points. Your quarterback's got to be able to produce, and you got to be able to run the football in this league. And Auburn, at the end of the season last year, when Petway went down, they just couldn't do it.
Well, that goes back to injuries. When Shaun White's healthy, Auburn was molding itself into a pretty dynamic offense.
But I mean, let's be honest about it. Gus Malzahn lucked up with Petway. That was not the plan. Obviously, I don't know what the plan was to start the year because I don't know what that game plan was against Clemson. I think everybody's still scratching their head. But it's almost like by mistake, Petway was thrust into starting tailback role, and then all of a sudden it was like, man, and then he rode that horse till it got injured. And then there was no other plan, no other backup. I was sitting by some former football players in the stands at Georgia. I'm not going to name their names, but they were just disgusted at the lack of imagination and the lack of a plan B when plan A doesn't work. And that's exactly what we had against. You didn't go into that Alabama game thinking for a second you were going to win that game because you couldn't score a point. You couldn't move the ball from anywhere on the field.
Well, yeah, and when you got Jerry, I go back to, I don't want to throw the kid in the bus, but I mean, when Jeremy Johnson was going to be the starter,
it's long been under the bus. He's been run over 14 times back and forth.
Here again, I mean, your starting quarterback, if you're going to put your eggs in that basket, he has to produce, like you said. But it's nice to have somebody on the bench that can come in because injuries happen, and this is a rough and tumble league. And people are going to get banged
field goal range in the Georgia game enough where Daniel Carlson could kick a couple field goals in the game. I mean, that's how bad you're off. You didn't even get a first down the second half. That's an issue. I mean, and you get paid the kind of money Gus Malzahn. I mean, you got to have some type of plan B. All right. I mean, it didn't. The whole shooting match didn't fold up when one guy goes down. I mean, again, not a cut on Shaun White, but Shaun White's not some tremendous all-star guy. He was a manageable quarterback, but when he went down and Cameron Petway went down to an injury, it's like all hope was lost.
Well, that's why you change offensive coordinators. Now, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't.
But
you make a change understanding that was unacceptable, so the next guy comes in, hopefully he does better.
And the Oklahoma game was a microcosm of the entire season. The first half or the first quarter, really, Auburn showed what they could do offensively and defensively when things were going right. But then the injuries crept back in and reality set back in. And once again, that coaching staff down there had no plan B, had no other game plan to go to in the Sugar Bowl, and it ended up in a blowout loss. And the Alabama game never was close, really. I mean, it was by score, but really the game never felt close. And then the Georgia game was just a pathetic game for both teams. I mean, so Auburn ended the season last year with a rotten taste in their mouth, and that's what you carry into the offseason. That's what you carry into the next year. So different personnel, different coaches kind of give you a little rejuvenation. But once again, in a few weeks when everything kicks off, Auburn's going to be up against the clock, and they're going to be judged on how they perform on the field, not in the all-season pickups that they got.
No question about it. It's about wins and losses, and here we are, 8-5, 7-6, 8-5. I think that's that's unacceptable. This is kind of the year that Gus Malzahn needs to make some.
I'm not sure 9-3 is acceptable this team and this core. I mean, it will be. He'll still keep his job at 9-3. But if you lose 3 games, unless you lay an egg somewhere, the three of the 4 losses are going to be against Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and Clemson. I mean, you got to look at those 4 games as the 4 games that are the pendulum to swing this season.
If you lose to Georgia and Alabama this year, that'd be 0-8 in the last 4 years.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, of course. That's Bill Curry.
It is Bill Curry.
So
it's Mike Shula.
Yeah.
All right. And the reason we bring that up, and I'm not throwing Alabama under the bus, but Auburn hadn't had any coaches to go 0-4 against Alabama or Georgia. I mean, it just is what it is, and this is what Gus Malzahn's up against.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and take our first break of the night. We are brought to you by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Thank you so much for their support of all of our programming. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll talk about Texas A&M and what they're looking like for the 2017 season. More to come right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just one dime down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just one dime down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, brought to you by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Andy and Brett here with you until 9 o'clock, talking about the Texas A&M Aggies as they begin their 2017 season, like everyone else, beginning fall practice this week. Kevin Sumlin in his 6th year. This will be year number 6 for him, 44 and 21 overall. Very similar, obviously, to Auburn and Gus Malzahn. And he started back in 2012, 1 year earlier, but goes from 11 and 2 to 9 and 4 to 8-5 to 8-5 to 8-5.
And if they could just quit after 6 games, they'd be all right.
Really, I mean, I talked about that in my column 2 weeks ago, or last week. They've started the season 5-0, 5-0, 6-0. They finished 8-5, 8-5, 8-5. Now,
it's just
I mean,
terrible. And it's
great out of the gate, but not much for stamina.
And there's a lot of teams down the stretch that they frankly should have muscled up and beat, especially last year.
Oh man,
I mean,
you lose to State.
Oh man, lose to State.
Lose to Ole Miss.
That's right. Lose to Kansas State at the end of the year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just not a pretty. And it just whatever reason they don't finish the season strong. And Auburn probably played them at their height. They were really clicking on all cylinders there week 3 and 4 when they played us in Arkansas, and really after that they scrapped out probably the biggest win against Tennessee in overtime, because Tennessee was undefeated at that time, won that game 45-38, but then it was all downhill after that.
It was. Noel Mazzoni, offensive coordinator, his second year. This will be year number 3 for John Chavis. Their defense made some improvement his first year. I don't know if I wouldn't say they made a lot of improvement last year. May have actually gone backwards a little bit last year, giving up almost 200 yards rushing a game. I mean, that's really the bugaboo for Texas A&M really since Kevin Sumlin has been there. And it kind of, again, it kind of goes back to the hurry-up offense or the spread offense, however you want to term it these days, but their inability to stop the run. 191 yards or 192 almost yards a game given up on the ground. You cannot win big-time football giving up that kind of yards on the ground. So, like you said, this year they start out, they welcomed UCLA into College Station last year. They go out to Los Angeles this year to the Rose Bowl to take on UCLA. Nichols, Louisiana Lafayette. I'm assuming we're supposed to be calling them Louisiana now because that's the way it's listed on ESPN. They want to cut off the Lafayette, I guess.
So they're just going to be Louisiana?
They're just going to be Louisiana.
Okay.
The Arkansas, the Arkansas game, that's the neutral site game there in Dallas. That's the one, Texas A&M
hasn't won that game yet.
Texas A&M has been behind, I think, in that game every year.
Like right
in
to the last.
some way, somehow, Arkansas has found a way to lose. I think more than A&M. That's if Arkansas ever wins that game, that's the reason Texas A&M has started off so well, because they've won that game early every year. If they lose that game, things may go south in a hurry, because the big question, I guess, is quarterback. What do you do at quarterback? Is it going to be Hubenek, or is it going to be Kellen Mond? I mean, are you going to they're going to throw a true freshman out there?
They're similar to Auburn in the fact that every year they start off with some question marks in that position. It's the most important position on your football team. So they're faced with that once again. How will they respond? Who will he stick in there to be? Will somebody emerge as a leader? I mean, obviously, last year Trevor Knight did an outstanding job of really getting them off to a fast start. They were ranked in the top 10 in the country, a big win over Tennessee in overtime, and then they went to Alabama. It wasn't a bad loss. It's 33-14, but they come
very close early.
It was close early, but not able to get over the hump. And the loss to Mississippi State and Ole Miss, back-to-back close losses, really put a black mark on this team and their schedule. And they ended up losing 4 out of the last 5 games. The only win against UTSA, and that one wasn't very pretty. It was 23-10. So it was like they had packed it in. And
Knight got hurt.
That's right.
And they had to bring in the backup, which didn't do them any favors. I mean, Travion Williams returns. He had over 1,000 yards last year. He's a pretty dynamic. Auburn got a good taste of him early in the year as he broke off that. Was about a 90-yard run to kind of put the game away. Tremendous speed for him. But they lose Josh Reynolds. They lose Ricky Seals-Jones. Speedy Noel will not return. I think he was asked to leave. But Christian Kirk does return. It seems like those guys had been there for about 8 years.
That's right.
Josh Reynolds, tremendous 1,000-yard receiver, and Seals Jones, for that matter, he only caught 26 balls last year, but I think 9 of them were against Auburn.
Yeah, he's a punk. He's a punk.
Yeah.
What he ended up doing.
That's for sure. But offensively, Kevin Sumlin has always put a pretty good offense out on the field. Again, it comes back to quarterback. You would figure they'll probably plug in some wide receivers and they'll be okay there. But defensively, I mean, they lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their top 6 tacklers. Now, you can look at that as a good or bad. You know, when you give up so many yards and you give up,
you get somebody else in there, it might be better.
Maybe you are getting some guys in there that are better qualified. So I don't know. You know, Texas A&M has got a pretty tough schedule. I mean, everybody in the West has got a tough schedule. I don't care who your out-of-conference games are.
Yep.
Adding UCLA, going to Los Angeles, if they lose that game, I don't know.
That's very possible.
It might be
the only problem
8-5 is directly what they're staring at.
Well, if you get if you get Texas A&M early in the season, it's not good for you historically. The latter part of the season, yes, and then Auburn plays them, and Auburn hasn't lost at A&M, and A&M hasn't lost at Auburn.
All right.
Auburn goes to A&M in November to start the November month. So, again, probably by then it could be a Texas A&M team after a loss to Florida, Alabama, and UCLA could possibly have mailed it in.
That's a pretty good stretch there from from September the 23rd to October the 14th.
Arkansas, South Carolina, Alabama, Florida.
Arkansas, South Carolina, Alabama, at Florida. That'll pretty much tell the tale for their season. I mean, you know, let's just assume they beat UCLA. You know, they're going to win Nichols and Lafayette.
They lost Mississippi State last year, and Fitzgerald's back this year. I'm not just saying. I mean,
yeah. But I mean, if you go 2-2 in that stretch, you know, then you've got to finish up with Mississippi State, Auburn, Ole Miss, and LSU. Auburn's definitely going to be a struggle for them because it always is. LSU's definitely. I don't think they've beaten LSU since they've been in the league. At Ole Miss, who knows? They lost to them last year, so it's just I don't know. I don't see 10 wins.
Not at all. None at all.
If you're staring at another 8-5, if you're Kevin Sumlin, I mean, is that good enough?
I think that might be the best they could do.
That's certainly not going to make a lot of people happy.
No, it's not. But how safe is Kevin Sumlin? Who do they go after? You know, I know that's the old added question. I mean, the old adage is who you going to get? Well, I don't know who is out there.
I don't know.
I mean,
maybe Auburn and Auburn and State St. will trade. I don't know. They both go 8-5.
No doubt.
That'd be about right.
Where's Les Miles fit into this whole picture too?
Ole Miss, you know, like his name's mentioned there.
Yeah, but he might want to bide his time this year, and I mean, don't think he might not be up for a job like A&M.
That might be better. Up against another break here. When we come back, we may hopefully be joined by Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you've ever wanted a Lexus, now is your opportunity at the Reinhardt Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. The time of the year to get savings on the Lexus you want. With extra inventory, the selection is better than ever on the most popular models. Save thousands with low monthly payments and special financing. Get 0% APR on the ES for 60 months. At Reinhardt Lexus, an opportunity like this only knocks once a year. So find your Lexus today at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Relief has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
TPE
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937, 866-837-6937, or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock-solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you for about an hour and a half longer. A little trouble connecting with Olin.
You just gotta love guests.
Olin Buchanan. It's a crapshoot, brother. It always has been.
Hey, let me tell you something from experience. As being the one being called by another show, and they can't get me, panic ensues. I mean, it just does. And but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you get tied up and all that.
That's true. We'll go ahead and go into the next segment, and we'll just continue to talk about Texas A&M a little bit. I'll ask you some questions, Brett. You give me your honest opinion.
I wouldn't know how to do anything other than that.
True or false? This is a do or die year for Kevin Sumlin.
I mean, I want to say true because of the track record, but you know, at media days he said that nobody wants to perform at a top level no more than he does, and he's not satisfied with 8-5, and you know, he knows the fans aren't, but he had a laundry list of excuses of why they were 8-5, but that they've gotten off to a great start the last couple of years, and they can't finish. So I don't know who Texas A&M could get. I don't like that saying because I don't like you being content with mediocre. I think when you have programs like Auburn's and Texas A&M's that are trying to be at the top of the heap with Alabama, you don't need to say, well, if we get rid of him, who are we going to get? Well, you need to go get somebody out there and do better than that. That's why you get rid of him. That's why you make a change, because you're not content with being an 8-5 program. And Texas A&M really has missed a golden opportunity to dominate the state of Texas, because Texas has been horrific for several years now, but now they've got new blood in Tom Herman. So will that be turning around? So I would say yes. I think 8-5, especially a 7-6 year, would be doomed for Kevin Sumlin.
Fill in the blank. The biggest game on the schedule for A&M is blank.
The next one. I mean, I really feel that way. The biggest game on Texas A&M's schedule is UCLA right now. I mean, because they start off 0-1. I mean, then they got Nichols in Louisiana, okay, that's dropped Lafayette. Then you got that murder row, Arkansas, South Carolina, Alabama, Florida. And 3 of those are at home, and then one's on the road at Florida before you go to the bye. I mean, you lose to UCLA and you split those other 4, man, the season is terrible, and you don't. It doesn't get any easier. Mississippi State, Auburn, New Mexico, Ole Miss, and LSU, and you got to go on the road at Ole Miss and LSU. And I know Ole Miss is maybe total shambles by then, but they do still have a quarterback that's capable of making plays, and Shea Patterson, who came in and beat them last year. If you'll look back at the score, it was 29-28, and it was because of Shea Patterson coming in and making those plays. So. And I stay by that. It's the next game for A&M. It's whoever's next, they've got to win that game.
Over under 165 yards rushing allowed per game. As a reference, they gave up 191.8 last year game.
I mean, that's definitely got to get better if their record's going to get better. You can't get gashed.
No.
In the SEC. And
I'm
just
lose
not.
Miles Garrett.
Well, I'm just not.
Not that he was a great run stopper, but
convinced that, and he was a terrible run stopper.
Yeah.
All he was a pass rush specialist. The John Chavis led defense has gotten worse, and I'm not too sure that, John Chavis has been around a long time, and people understand, and they've had a chance to figure him out a lot. It's good to have a old wily veteran, but also it can be bad, because you've been around and you have tendencies, and people pick up on those tendencies. I think they give up more than that. I don't think they. I think they struggle all year long. I mean, I really do. I think it's a crapshoot every week for them outside of the 4 non-conference games.
If they give up more than 165 yards rushing a game, I guarantee they'll go 8-5 or worse,
or 7-6.
What's the chances Kellen Mond is the starting quarterback by the end of the season?
If they're struggling, could be high chances. 60% chance. If they're struggling through the first part of that schedule.
They seem to always make a change.
That's right. That goes right hand in hand with their history. I mean, if you were a betting man, you would bet that they would end up having multiple quarterbacks in there, either by injury or by poor performance.
But who knows? Kellen Mond may be another Johnny Manziel, lightning in a bottle.
Definitely could be.
What's the word for Aggie receiver Christian Kirk?
Underutilized. I mean, a guy that with his talent, guys, you got to get the ball in his hands more than they do. And I think they've tried to be creative with him, but he is a game changer. And I think they underutilize Speedy Noel. I think Christian Kirk may be getting underutilized, and we'll stick with that.
The future. Predict the future. What will the Aggies' record be in 2017?
If I had my sheet from a few weeks ago, I could tell you. We went through every.
I think every one of them was 75.
I think it probably was. So I really think I'll just go back through it here and list it since we got a little bit of time. Southern Miss a win. I'm actually looking at Kentucky. UCLA. I've got them losing that game on the road. So I got a win for UCLA, and then they win in Nichols and Lawton in Louisiana, and then Arkansas they win that game. South Carolina. I've got them losing that game. I've got them losing to Alabama and Florida. So, you're looking at
3 and 4.
3 and 4 at the break. And then you come on down the line. I'm going to give them a win against Mississippi State, a loss to Auburn, a win against New Mexico, a win against Ole Miss, and a loss to LSU.
6-6.
6-6.
That is not going to be good for Kevin Sumlin's
it's very
career.
realistic.
That's very realistic. I thought you were very fair. 6-6.
The X factor are the games like South Carolina, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Auburn, and LSU. Those are X factor games for them. They're not going to beat Florida on the road. They're not going to beat Alabama. The UCLA game could go their way, but I just think it's too much for them to go out there and, they barely won this past year at their place, and now they got to make the trip out there. And UCLA, pretty talented football team. So
that South Carolina game is a pretty big game for both those teams.
It really is.
That one early like that, South Carolina having to go on the road.
That's right.
Depending on who wins that game, may end up with a much better season.
I don't see, we did, and then a month ago we did, best case scenario, worst case scenario, and I think my best case scenario for Texas A&M might be 9-3, and I've got them at their low point at 6-6.
Well, don't tell them that.
Yeah, well, I hate to tell them, but the last 2 years, in the last 6-7 ball games, they've garnered a couple of wins coming down the stretch. And
that's about it. Up against another break here. Don't go anywhere. More of Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
When enjoying the lake this season, make sure to drop by Harbor Point Marina for all your gas, snacks, boating supplies, and beverage needs. Harbor Point also wants you to come see our remaining 2017 Crest pontoons, priced to move at all-season pricing. Harbor Point Crest sales have been tremendous, and they're ready to unload their remaining 2017 Crest Tritoons to make way for the 2018 order. Come see the best in pontoons at our 2017 season closeout prices. Act now because inventory is limited, and enjoy your new Crest pontoon this year. For all your own water needs and sacrifice pricing on Crest pontoons, get to the point. Harbor Point at Still Waters on Lake Martin.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit, and that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle. Specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Going to talk about the Kentucky Wildcats a little bit in the next segment, but right now I want to talk a little bit, and a filler here for a segment, about the UAB Blazers, who are going to play football in 2017. How about that?
That didn't take quite the hiatus that Mercer did.
No, not quite. But Mercer did it voluntarily. UAB was kicked out of football.
UAB kind of did it voluntarily too.
Well,
I mean, they chose to disband the program.
Well, I mean, the players did.
Well, the players did. Well, what? Did Mercer's players decide to quit playing football?
Well, there was a war going on.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but they.
But obviously, I mean, this was some kind of covert.
Well, they could have come back and played. A lot of teams did.
They certainly could have.
I mean, you know what I mean? Auburn did.
Yeah. But the UAB Blazers suiting up, practicing this year. Got a brand new pavilion. Got a brand new football center there or football complex. It just seems like a while back, that this all happened. I mean, we were talking about this on the radio quite a bit. When all this is coming out, and when Justin Kraft was on the show, and trying to pump up support for this team, and think we can't do this, we can't let. And then they come out and we're going to disband the program. I mean, and now here we are, we're playing football again. I mean,
all it did was set them back.
It
I mean,
really
they hate
did.
it for them, as far as that's concerned. But Bill Clark really right before they ended up having a bowl eligible season.
Yeah.
Chose not to go.
Right.
But ended up being a bowl eligible team. Really had made a lot of strides under Bill Clark, and then this setback. But they'll have a struggle getting back at it. Trying to build things back up. But some teams that are definitely beatable on the schedule for UAB.
No doubt about it. And I mean, UAB, a lot of these players, former players. They got a 25-year-old linebacker that was, decided not to go anywhere, and is still there. But they've got, they've got some guys that were there. They've got some guys that they've been recruiting here over the last couple of years. They've been working out. I mean, just think about how, you talk about a team ready to play some football. These guys have been doing this for 2 years, having to watch other people play, working out, thinking about this day.
Is this like an XFL team? They had guys
it may be,
coming out of the woodwork that hadn't played in several years.
We got
a little older.
He was working at Hardee's last week. This week he's a linebacker for UAB. But they've got a quarterback or a tryout for quarterback, not a tryout, but a hotly contested battle for the quarterback position. Tyler Johnson III.
That's right.
Spanish
Fort.
That's right, from Spanish Fort. I think a lot of people remember him pretty well. A.J.
Erdley.
Okay.
You tried.
I tried. I failed. Where's he from?
I don't know.
Nobody
from
knows.
Middle Tennessee, right?
He's from Hardee's. I don't know. But anyway, Alabama A&M, that's when they'll kick it off September 2nd. At home. That's definitely.
He is from Middle Tennessee. A.J. He started his career at Middle Tennessee.
Alabama A&M definitely winnable, right? At Ball State, got to be winnable, right?
What's definitely winnable on a return?
Alabama A&M.
I mean, they've had some pretty good seasons. I mean, they've had some teams that
Auburn beat Alabama A&M by 50 in 2012.
Well, I mean, aren't we supposed to?
Not in 12.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Coastal Carolina. I mean, come on,
yeah.
the fighting.
Yeah. That's right.
No, at North Texas.
North Texas, Mean Green.
Hey, watch out for them. Now that may be tough. You don't go out there.
Texas
You don't go out to Mean Green country.
Terrible. They've been terrible their whole life.
This is true.
They got that one.
They won that one. La Tech, I'm afraid that's going to be a loss.
Middle Tennessee.
That's going to be. Is your brother? Is your buddy there?
My brother. What?
Is your buddy still out there? Is the offensive coordinator?
Who?
Auburn's former offensive coordinator.
I don't have any buddies at Auburn's former
2008? Oh, come on.
It's so bad I've forgotten.
Oh, me.
You talking about at La Tech?
I'm talking about Middle Tennessee.
Oh, God.
What was it?
Tony Franklin.
Tony Franklin.
I guess, man. Didn't he go out west?
He was at Middle Tennessee as the offensive coordinator for a while.
He went back out west or something.
Did he really?
I think so. We'll have to look him
at Charlotte. You got to win that
My
game.
brother. I hope to God not.
I've always thought
Charlotte. I mean, come on.
You two had a lot in common.
Should have won Charlotte.
At Southern Miss, that's a loss. Rice at home.
You say it so confidently. Well, just a few years ago, they had the great.
Well, they did, but they got a lot better.
And then we picked
him up.
Thanks
to Chip Lindsey.
We went and picked him up.
Oh man, he was too good for.
Go 0-10, 0-11. We got you.
UTSA gave Texas A&M all they wanted last year. That's going to be tough. And at Florida, UAB goes to Florida.
Money.
UTEP at home to round out the season.
I don't know how many wins do you see on that schedule?
3? 5, maybe.
5.
Yeah.
A&M.
Yeah. I think
Carolina.
Yeah.
North Texas.
Charlotte. UTSA. Well, no.
I mean, you just said
Rice, possibly.
I mean, maybe. I mean, these programs have been playing for a while, and.
Well, Bill Clark's a pretty good coach.
I know he is. We'll see. 4 wins.
Maybe better. I'm hoping for the best.
I am too. I mean,
but it's going to it's going to take a little while.
I mean, this is like
they'd just be happy to play.
Now, if this was Bill Clark continuation after what he had built, I mean, 6-6, 7-5,
bowl game. They had no why.
Easily. But a couple year hiatus takes a toll. That's gets him.
Watch out for Tony Franklin. Up against another
your
break.
Brother.
That's right, your brother. Up against another
your
break
brother
here,
back
but
out there?
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back, and we'll talk about the Kentucky Wildcats when we come back. More to come right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live on this beautiful Tuesday evening. We're going to go to the phone line now and welcome in Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com. Talk a little bit about the Texas A&M Aggies. Olin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for having me on and bearing with me.
Absolutely. I appreciate you joining us. Well, let's just talk first. You just give me kind of the pulse of the program right now in College Station.
Oh, I think everybody's in kind of a wait and see mode. 3 consecutive 8-5 seasons is one thing, but when you also have 3 consecutive second half fades, that people just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop and see if the Aggies, if they do get off to a fast start again, to see if they can continue it and avoid that second half collapse. But to be honest, there's a whole lot of skeptics here.
Well, let's talk a little bit about those second half collapses, like you mentioned. Texas A&M opens the season 5-0, 5-0, and 6-0 the last 3 years. Is it that they're running out of gas? Is it the schedule is backloaded? What do you think the problem is?
Well, I think there's several contributing factors. Depth has been an issue, and so when they've had some injuries, like last year, Trevor Knight got hurt in the Mississippi State game and missed a couple of games after that. Starting quarterback Armani Watts, the best safety, got hurt. Myles Garrett was in and out of the lineup with an injury. So I think that played into it. But like you said, the schedule, you start playing stronger teams. They played Alabama. Of course, that's one of those games they lost. They always close with LSU. That I think the general fans in College Station can understand, and even though they don't like losing to them, they can forgive that. It's just when you lose to Mississippi State, that's kind of hard to swallow, especially when you had a big lead on Ole Miss.
You still there with us, Olin?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I lost you there just for a second. But the quarterback position is kind of a big question mark going in to the season. Has there been any movement in that, or is it going to be? Do you expect a starter to be named, or has there already been one?
No, I think they'll name a starter sometime between August 19th and August 1st. That's kind of been, with the exception of last year and Manziel's sophomore year, that's been the MO for Kevin Sumlin. About 2 weeks before the season opener, he's named the starter. Now, last Trevor Knight was, he's obviously going to be their starter after the spring. Of course, as a sophomore, Johnny Manziel was returning starter and Heisman Trophy winner, so of course he was going to be the starter. But since then, they've not known who their starter is going to be, three times, and Kevin Sumlin is his let the competition go. They start getting all.
Who's he going to be choosing between? I know the freshman Kellen Mond has made a lot of noise, but Jake Hubenek is already there on campus, right?
Right. Jake Hubenek is the only. They have three quarterbacks that are in the. He's I guess a 5-star, maybe a high 4-star rated recruit out of the IMG Academy. He's maybe the crown jewel of the recruiting class, I guess. And then there's Nick Starkel, who they flipped from Oklahoma State when Noel Mazzoni came over as the offensive coordinator. He's a redshirt freshman, big guy, strong arm, but hadn't taken a collegiate snap yet. And then you mentioned Jake Hubenek, who's been a career backup. He's a senior now, and when he's played, he's actually played pretty well. They haven't won many games he started, but it's not because of the way he played. He's not, an overwhelming talent by any means. So it's going to be it's between those three guys. And I think right now, if anybody has an edge, and I don't know if they do, but if they do, it's probably Starkel. And I just say that based on the fact in the spring game and one of their public scrimmages, he got most of the snaps.
Texas A&M known for really a tremendous receiving core. The Aggies lose Josh Reynolds and Ricky Seals-Jones. Speedy Noel not returning as well. It seemed like those guys from a guy, a guy that follows Auburn all the time. It seemed like those guys were there for about 10 years, but they're gone now. Who steps in besides Christian Kirk?
Well, of course, the fact that you have Christian Kirk, that's a heck of a place to start. They got a freshman they're really excited about named Jamon Osborne, a teammate of mine at the IMG Academy. He's about 6'2", 220, really distinguished himself in the spring. Of course, we know there's a big difference between playing in the spring and playing in the fall, but they really like what they saw of him. He's big, he's physical, has good hands, good speed. I think he has that potential to be a big-time player, but is it going to be as a freshman? We'll have to wait and see on that. Most of their receiving core now is very inexperienced. They're going to be counting on Courtney Davis, I think, who's a redshirt freshman. They liked him a lot last year, and he hurt his knee, and he was out. The guy Hezekiah Jones is another true freshman. As part of the recruiting class that they're really excited about. But again, we're talking about a whole lot of guys that have not played collegiate football. I mean, when Ricky Seals-Jones decided to enter the draft early, and then so did Speedy Noel, all of a sudden what looked like a really strong position, really got depleted in a hurry. And I think beyond Christian Kirk, all the other receivers on the roster combined for 10 catches. One thing you might see different from A&M this year, though, is look for them to use the tight end a whole lot more. Last year, it didn't make sense to put a tight end because you would take Ricky Seals-Jones off the field, and he was as big as a tight end. That didn't make you better. But I think they want to run the football a lot more this year, and so putting in a tight end makes sense, especially when you really don't have an accomplished slot receiver aside from Christian Kirk.
I believe this is year 3 for John Chavis. I don't know. Is it fair to say that it's been a little disappointing? Still giving up 190 yards rushing last year on the ground. Is there a reason to believe that the A&M defense can be better this year?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons to believe it, as crazy as it sounds, is because they gave up 190 yards on the rushing last year. Because, believe it or not, that was significantly better than it's been in the last 3 seasons before that. And John Chavis, though, has not been able to make that A&M defense, completely better. Hadn't been able to make it look like those LSU defenses he had, or even the Tennessee defenses he's had. But frankly, he's taken over this. He had to deal with the same personnel that was part of 2 of the worst defenses in A&M history. And so, we always say, it's Jimmys and Joes beat X's and O's, and I don't think John's had many Jimmys and Joes to work with, to be honest. I mean, they've had some nice players, but the linebacker position has been absolutely atrocious here, and the cornerbacks have been in and out of the, especially last year, in and out of the lineup with injuries, and quite frankly, the same could be said for Myles Garrett, who after the 4th game of the year, he got hurt against Arkansas. He missed a couple of games, and only, again, he was in and out and playing at about 70% the rest of the season. So I don't know if the finger of blame goes at John Chavis. I think he's just taken over a team that, quite frankly, didn't have very good players on defense.
Well, Olin, one final question, we'll let you go. Looking at the schedule, what do you think is realistic to expect from Texas A&M this season, and is there a line of demarcation as far as whether Kevin Sumlin is back next year?
Well, I know the athletic director, Scott Woodward, was on record saying that he needs to win this year, and he said that 8 wins isn't good enough. And after 3 consecutive 8-win seasons, you don't hire somebody and pay them $5 million a year to go 8-5 every season. And I'll tell you this. I think that's about, look it up again, but 5 of the last 6 coaches at A&M who were replaced after 7-win seasons. So I don't know if he has to get to more than 8 wins. If he gets 8 wins this year, might look pretty good. But I think it's realistic to think that A&M has a shot to win 8 and maybe even 9 if they start, show that they can stop the run with some consistency and get adequate quarterback play. The fact is, A&M has a lot of warts, but there's a whole lot of teams. None of them are in Alabama, but there's a whole lot of teams on their schedule that have just as many warts. The biggest difference is like UCLA, Arkansas, and some of Mississippi State. Those teams know who their quarterback is, and A&M doesn't. But beyond that, I think if you look at Ole Miss and you'll look at Florida even, and UCLA and Arkansas, you'll see some teams that that they have a lot of questions too. So I think A&M can go into some of those games and feel like they have a shot. Now, are they going to win all those? Probably not. So if I was guessing, I'd be guessing around maybe a 7-5 mark, and I don't know what that would do for Kevin Sumlin.
That's Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com. Olin, thank you so much for giving us some time tonight.
All right, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Up against a break. Don't go anywhere. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At US AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, US AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the US AmeriBank difference. US AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Sentricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Sentricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457.
In a world that's ever changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering, or even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Brett here with you in the second hour of this evening's show, taking a look at the Kentucky Wildcats in our SEC preview.
Let me go back. Texas A&M, he said 9-3.
He said 7-5.
But he said could see them going 9-3.
Yeah, he said realistic. That was his last one, I thought, that I remember.
Realistic 7-5.
7-5.
Well, I had him at 6-6.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're staring in the face.
Well, that's what he said. And he made comment. He said,
it's not
outside of the teams in Alabama. He said there
right.
are some other teams that are, that could go either way, and he named exactly the ones you said: Mississippi State, South Carolina, UCLA. Those are the games they have got to win.
That's
Arkansas. Right. If they don't win those, they're going to win 5 games.
That's exactly right.
So, anything else before we wrap up? A&M?
No, A&M. I'm had enough of A&M.
No wrecking crew. That's certainly for sure.
That's right.
Kentucky Wildcats. This will be year 5 for Mark Stoops. 19-30 in the Bluegrass State. That's not good, but you think about it. I mean, look, he started out 2-10. He inherited 2-10.
Mm-hmm.
He went 2-10. Then he went 5-7. 5-7. Then he went 7-6. So he's getting better. He's a builder. He's working on a building.
Bob the Builder.
Eddie Grand, former
Bob the Builder.
Your brother, Eddie Grand, that was at Auburn, second year as co-offensive coordinator, comes over from Cincinnati with Darren Henshaw, a co-coordinator as well. Matt House, this is his first year as a defensive coordinator, second year on the staff. So you go down through, drop the first opener against Southern Miss. That is not good. To get hammered in Gainesville by Florida. The last couple of years, they'd kind of opened the season pretty good, like Texas A&M out of the gate, and then faltered late. At least here, you open the season 0-2, and you think, well, they might outwin an SEC game. They turned it around and win 7 games. So
that's right.
They beat South Carolina. They got blown out by Alabama in Tuscaloosa, but that's really they win at Vandy, they win at Mississippi, they win home against Vandy, home against Mississippi State, win on the road against Missouri. Close loss at home versus Georgia. Kind of Tennessee game got away from them in Knoxville. They come back and beat Louisville, to end the regular season. Nobody thought they'd win that game.
Nobody thought they'd win.
Not with
a Heisman Trophy winner.
They're 7-5 season. Then they get Georgia Tech, which is a tough bowl matchup. But it was not.
They're just not a fun team to play. Period.
No.
You play Georgia Tech.
Miserable. But Kentucky is. They are who they are. They're not.
What's their ceiling? That's the thing to look at with them. And before we have our next guest on, Andy, let's talk about their record and what they have. I think you have Jeff Drummond coming up next on the program from allwildcats.com. So you'll talk about their record. As Olin Buchanan said, the Ags will probably go 7-5. Is that what he said?
He said that's realistic. I think.
Golly, man.
He said he didn't think. He pretty much.
Well, let's look at this Kentucky schedule.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I mean, Southern Miss. I'm going to give them a win there.
You better win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eastern Kentucky with a win.
Yeah.
And at South Carolina. I really think. There's so many. Every conference game is a pivotal game. But you look last year, they were able to win that game 17-10 against South Carolina. But it's at Carolina. It's a new day. I'm high on South Carolina, so I'm going to give Kentucky a loss in that game. And then they got Florida, Eastern Michigan, and Missouri at home. I'm going to have an L for Florida, a win for Eastern Michigan, and a win for Missouri. So that's 3, 4, and 2 going into their bye week.
I think they would take it.
I definitely think
they would take it.
And then we go to at Mississippi State. I'm going to say that Kentucky pulls upset on the road and goes on the road and beats Mississippi State. Tennessee at home. That game really could go either way. Last year it was a thumping by the hands of Tennessee, but they don't have Joshua Dobbs anymore. It's at home, so I'm still going to tend to lean toward the Vols there, so I'm going to give them a loss there. Ole Miss at home, that's a win for Kentucky. Vanderbilt, that's a win for Kentucky. At Georgia is a loss, and this time I'm going to say Louisville gives them a loss as they have to
returns a favor.
Yeah, they return the favor. So if you look down through there, I've got them losing 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So 7-5.
Again,
or were they 7-6 last year?
They lost the bowl game, so they were 7-5 regular season again last year.
Really, where I think their program is.
I think they would take it. I know you'd like to think you want to move to the next level.
And I think that may be moving toward the next level.
It is
for them.
consistency.
It is
winning seasons consistently. Consistency. Steven Johnson is back. He's a senior quarterback. Threw for over 2,000 yards last year. Ran for 185. But
you beat Louisville, or you beat South Carolina, and you continue and you maintain the wins you have. There's your 8 wins. It's 8-5.
Benny Snell, 1,000-yard rusher last year, burst on the scene as a freshman, so he's back. It could get very interesting if they start running the ball with some efficiency. They ran the ball very well last year, 234 yards a game. So
I lost a close game to Georgia last year. Blowout loss basically to Tennessee. A terrible loss to Alabama, obviously. A terrible loss to Florida. And then that opening game against Southern Miss, really a sour taste in their mouth.
Oh, no doubt about it. And again, you got a chance to revenge, or you got a chance to make up for it at least this year. But you got to go to Hattiesburg. You start out with another loss this year. That's just, it's throwaway. It's throwing away wins is what it's doing.
Who scheduled that one?
Yeah. Well, you are Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, I know it.
Let's be honest. But anyway,
7-6 for the Wildcats.
7-6. So you got them going 7-6. You got A&M going 6-6.
Well, I've got them 7-5, and then would it
you
be
got them 6-6 go, and then they go to the bowl game, and who knows?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So 7-5 versus
That's
interesting. Could be interesting. Up against a break here, but when we come back, hopefully we'll be joined by Jeff Drummond from allwildcats.com. Don't want to miss that. More to come right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17th season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Summertime means savings time during the summer clearance event at Bice Motors. Save over $8,200 on a great selection of loaded new 2017 Chrysler 200 Limiteds. Was $25,705, now $17,500. Need a truck? Bice has new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express 4x2s for $299 a month.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
Don't miss the summer clearance event going on now. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Thank you so much for joining us out there. Andy Graham here with you until 9 o'clock. We're going to continue our preview of the SEC with the Kentucky Wildcats. And here to join us on the phone is Jeff Drummond from allwildcats.com. Jeff, thank you for giving us some time tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. Well, let's just talk a little bit about the Kentucky Wildcats. And Mark Stoops entering his fifth year there in Lexington. 19-30 record, but all things considered, I think people have got to be kind of happy with what's going on right now.
Yeah, people are really pleased right now. Everything is kind of trending in the direction you would hope to see it, culminating last year, with a 7-win season. Given where Kentucky came from, 5 or 6 years previously, that's, quite an accomplishment for them, and their first bowl game since 2010. And now they're trying to take these 4 or 5 recruiting classes that Stoops has had, which have been nationally recognized as, top 25 range classes, and take it to another level. They think they've got a team this year that can, take another step up that ladder.
Yeah, you look up and down the schedule last year, Florida game, not really competitive, but outside of that, some very close losses, including one at home against Georgia. A couple of games could have gone one way or the other, and Kentucky may be looking at possibly 8 wins, maybe even 9 last year. The Southern Miss loss kind of to start the season, kind of inexplicable. Have an opportunity, I guess, this year to make up for that going on the road to Hattiesburg.
Yeah, that's a game where a lot of people, my memory's a little cloudy at this point, but I want to say Kentucky was up 28 points in that one. And then things just completely unraveled before halftime. A couple of big momentum-changing plays, kind of flukish nature. And as of that point, I think a lot of the fan base kind of wrote off their season, said, there is no way, there's no path to a good season without having that win in the back pocket. And this team just kind of kept plugging away and took the attitude that, we feel like we're good enough to win every week. If we lost one we feel like we should have had, now we got to steal one back from someone else. And, fortunately, they were able to do that along the way.
Talk a little bit about maybe some of the strengths and weaknesses of this team as you see it in 2017.
Well, the strength is that they've got 8 guys back on offense and 9 guys back on defense. So there's a lot of veteran players on this team, proven guys who have shown they can compete at the SEC level. They've added depth across the board, which has kind of always been the thing that separated them. Maybe not from the Alabamas of the world, but, from the guys they're competing against in the East. Kentucky always seemed to have a few stars here and there, but never to depth across the board to line up with the Floridas and Georgias and Tennessees. They feel like they have that now. And you look at their offense, they've got the quarterback, 4 out of 5 offensive linemen, and a record-setting running back for that offense. And they've got a lot of talent in the backfield besides Benny Snell Jr. I mentioned him. He had 1,091 yards and 13 touchdowns as a freshman. But they feel like they've got 3 or 4 other guys that can pick up the slack where they lost Boone Williams and keep that thing going and continue to build on their identity as one of the more physical teams in the league, which, I think that caught a lot of people by surprise last year.
Yeah, Kentucky rushing for 234 yards a game. You mentioned Benny Snell, certainly a breakout year for him as a freshman. Talk a little bit about Steven Johnson, a returning starter at quarterback. Kentucky, if they can continue that ability to run the football, do you have the confidence that he can improve in the passing game and become really a complete team?
Yeah, it's an interesting storyline because if you flash back to this time last year, a highly regarded prospect, Drew Barker, 4-star quarterback, a kid who was Elite 11, had all the recruiting accolades down the line, was their starting quarterback. And he had tweaked his back in the preseason, and he started the season with a great first half against Southern Miss, but it kind of flared up against him, and he tried to play through it the next 2 or 3 weeks and just kept getting worse and worse to the point where he eventually had surgery on it. Well, Steven Johnson comes in, and all he does is, win 5 of the next, I want to say, 8 or 9 games as the starting quarterback. and showed some of that dual threat capability that every team across the country seems to covet right now. And like you said, if he can continue to add to his passing resume, he's really good with the deep ball. He's kind of the opposite of what you think about with a lot of guys who need to improve passing. Very good on the deep ball, but struggles with the little short, quick hitters and intermediate stuff. So they're working on that a lot in this camp and hoping that he can build on what he did last year, and that maybe Drew Barker, now that he's fully healthy and doesn't have that back nagging him, gives them another option as a guy, who was once considered one of the probably top dozen quarterbacks coming out of the high school ranks.
As you mentioned, Kentucky, the offense really not the problem last year, but defensively, Mark Stoops is a defensive guy, but Matt House, his first year, this year as a defensive coordinator, what do you expect from the Wildcats on that side of the ball?
Well, it's going to be real interesting, and it boils down to whether they can get anything at all from their defensive front. That's been kind of the bugaboo for Kentucky. They've got a lot of talent on the back end. Secondary is really strong, long, tall, fast, aggressive athletes in that secondary. Linebacker core has Jordan Jones, who was one of the SEC's best guys in the tackle categories last season, a real spark plug for the entire team, and kind of the heart and soul of that defense. But they haven't gotten the production up front. And, guys like Matt Elam, who was a U.S. Army All-American coming out of high school, haven't gotten the production from him at nose guard, and they haven't had really the size at the tackles and end positions to keep people from running the ball on them and setting up, second and short, third and short, the manageable down situations. And what that's caused is that Kentucky's not been able to, magnify the strength on that back end. The secondary's never really been able to play at their full capability because they're always kind of facing these down and distance situations that make it favorable for offensive coordinators. And that resulted in a lot of yards and a lot of points scored against them last year.
Well, Jeff, you keep up with Kentucky. You are, this is your profession. You cover them for a living. Realistically, when you look at their schedule, what do you think their ceiling and basement is this year?
Well, I hesitate on ceilings because I'm always one of those guys that thinks, hey, you're playing every one of them for a reason, and you think you got a shot to win all of them. But realistically, I would say they've got a shot to win 8 games this year. If things fell into place and they had some guys, step up and elevate their level of play. The big key to that is they've got a couple of their tougher Eastern Division opponents in Florida and Tennessee coming to Lexington. And they feel like they match up fairly decent with both of those, and they'll close the season out against Louisville and Lamar Jackson at home. So this is 2017 schedule is not easy by any stretch. I don't think anybody in the SEC ever has an easy schedule, but it's one that is a lot more manageable for them than maybe last season when they had to go to Gainesville, they had to go to Knoxville, and a little bit of a tougher road.
Well, Jeff, we really appreciate you joining us this evening. Jeff Drummond, the publisher of allwildcats.com with the Scout Network. Jeff, you have a great season, and thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization, wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat, full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma, all with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com, 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SunSource.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cash aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Only about 30 more minutes left in tonight's show. Appreciate Jeff Drummond. Appreciate Olin Buchanan, TexAgs.com, and AllWildcats.com. Appreciate them joining us for this evening, giving us their expertise. I believe we have yet another phone call, and we'll go to the line right now.
Going to the line. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sportz Blitz Live.
Hey, guys. It's Luke. How's it going?
Hey, man. What's going on, brother?
Just another beautiful night in Minneapolis.
Well, I guess me and you'll trade spots next week. Luke, you're there this week. I'll be there next week.
Oh, you're coming here to fish.
Yeah, well, I actually won't be fishing, unfortunately, but my team will be there, so I guess I'll just be sitting around waiting for the weigh-in every day. So what I need to do in Minneapolis?
Well, I don't know. I guess just absorb the fact that it's not a 10,000 degrees with 100% humidity.
Yeah, I was going to say the weather has to be a little bit better, right?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I've done nothing but tell people. I mean, I've been walking through the streets like the beginning of Laverne and Shirley. I know that was Milwaukee, but just walking through, skipping everywhere, having fun. Everybody else is talking about how hot it is, and I said I could do this all the time. You guys have no idea. Now, I
you could skip down the street all the time? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, why not? Hey, look, I'm 44. I'm comfortable with who I am, okay?
That's exactly right.
4 kids.
Hey, that's the way we all feel now, Luke.
Well, no doubt.
He sounds very mellow.
Probably feels right now, but
he does sound mellow.
But how's that for a segue? But the more that's come out about this thing, Brett and Andy, I can tell you right now, you guys know, and I know somebody that has had the same kind of similar situation happen as to what happened with Deshaun Hand. And, it's really one of those things that makes you think about rules in general that this is why you can't have just straight line, uncompromising black or white rules all the time. Because when you first hear player gets DUI, I mean, immediately everybody's thinking, "Oh, what an awful thing! It's like getting behind a car is a weapon, and you're drunk and you're incapacitated. It's just awful." But when you hear more of the story and you understand, okay, he drank too much, which is not the best thing in the world to do, but it's something that a lot of people have done, and it's something that happens. And then he made the choice, okay, I'm not going to drive my car. Instead, I'm going to go to sleep, which, again, that's a much better choice than taking off and trying to make it to your house. And he cranks the car because, again, it's Alabama. It's very hot. And you get the air conditioning running. And, unfortunately, the way the law is written, that's still a DUI. And I understand the intent of that law. I get that. I'm not trying to even change that law. I totally understand. But I think it's one of those moments, Feinbaum and so many other people went off saying, oh, he's got to be suspended. Maybe not just for one game, but for several games. When you dig a little deeper into the story and you see, okay, this is really the first thing that's ever happened with this kid. He's been a good kid the whole time he's been at Alabama, really his whole life. And frankly, he tried to make the best situation. After making a bad decision, he tried to make a good decision. And I think what's going to happen in the end is he might get a public intoxication or he might get some kind of other legal reprimand, but I don't think the DUI will stick. And I guess I'm glad that it's out there because I think we all know somebody who has been in a situation like this in the past. And it just is one of those things where not all DUIs are necessarily created equal.
I think there's always, various levels of things when they go down. And, fortunately for him, he didn't get out on the road and it didn't become, the extreme where he either kills himself or kills somebody. So I think as kids, you learn from your mistakes. As adults, you learn from your mistakes. You just hope you can hang in there long enough to learn from them. And I think that's what he did here. And again, you're going to get fans of opposite teams that are going to be wanting to crucify him, and then fans of Alabama, Andy, that want to give him the benefit of the doubt no matter what would have ended up happening. So I think at the end of the day, Nick Saban needs to sit him down and try to make the best decision for him and whatever he feels like it is. And we've seen coaches in the past, Luke, that have made decisions that are less favorable and maybe made decisions based on a particular week or who the opponent is, and then others coaches that take a hard line and say, look, you broke a rule and there are no differences here. You're gonna serve the punishment. And we've seen coaches not do anything at all. So we'll see how this one plays out. But this happens every year, unfortunately, in some form or fashion, whether it be an Alabama player or a Tennessee player or a Florida player or an Auburn player, whatever. I just maybe yearn for the day maybe that it starts to tamper down a little bit. But I know the truth of that is that they're kids, and kids are going to be kids.
Well, here's the other thing, Brett. I don't think it's really that necessarily is going to change. You've got over 100 student athletes that have tons and tons of pressure on them, not just from their own schoolwork, which you two went to college. That can be pretty stressful at times. They also have pressure all the time of people telling them how good they have to be, what they have to do, and if they don't do it, this is what will get said about them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so they go and they might relieve a little of that pressure with a little liquid courage, and it's going to keep happening. Somebody today said that since Nick Saban's been in Alabama, I guess this is his 11th year, that there have been 7 DUIs, and one of the kids got a DUI twice, I think. And I think their point was to try and say, wow, that's a lot.
my first thought was, that's not that many when you're dealing with college kids. To me, I don't feel like that's that many at all. And I would be willing to bet during a decade of Bear Bryant coaching that there were at least that many, and we just didn't know about it. We have access to all these records now. Whenever something happens, we find out about it. And then when we find out about it, immediately everybody in the media has to have a hot take. They've got to say, well, this has to happen, or everybody should shame it. And really?
Well, I've learned, Luke, and I think we all have on this program, that we're all different. We're fans of different opposing teams. And just wait, your team or somebody on your team will end up messing up. So I've learned not to point the finger and make brash comments across the way, because, you know, if you wait long enough, it's going to come around to roost at your place. And Auburn's had their fair share, and Lord help, Alabama's had their fair share as well. So it kind of all washes out at the end of the day. But, you know, again, I go back to what I said. Kids are going to be kids, and that's 7 that got caught, Luke. We probably know that there was more than that were fortunate enough to not be caught, and maybe were dealt with internally, and whether it be marijuana or alcohol or whatever the substance might be, and whatever undisclosed suspensions or guys leaving the team for a little bit of personal reasons, as they term it. We all know that usually is what it stems around.
Oh, yeah. And again, I hate to say kids will be kids, because it is a very serious subject.
Yeah, I'm not diminishing the value of what it is, but I'm just being realistic. And we all, just like you said, it's college, and we know the temptations, and we know what's involved, and most people are going to try things, and they a lot of times make bad decisions.
You know, and the other thing, though, while we do have access to all of these records, police records, et cetera, and while everything gets out there, anything negative, vaguely negative, is spread around social media so quickly, there's no chance to corral it. It should be said that the kids today, while they are under a lot of pressure, they also have access to things that we didn't have back in the day, like Uber or Lyft, and that was my initial reaction, was like, there should never, ever be another DUI, because everybody, maybe with the exception of some smaller towns like ours, has Uber or Lyft. And I think in Auburn and Tuscaloosa, they certainly have it. And it makes no sense to go somewhere. If you know you're going to have a drink, and if you're of age, that's fine, then just be sure to use a taxi or Uber or Lyft, or have a friend be a designated driver. It's that simple. I can't imagine anybody wanting to go through the rigors of having received a DUI, because I've known some people who have gotten them, and they are not fun.
Good stuff, Luke. We're up against a break. We appreciate you calling us from Minneapolis. I'll trade spots with you next week, and I can report on the weather, okay?
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. More Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn, and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Yamaha is beating the field in just about every category of motorsport products, offering unbelievable performance, handling, features, technology, and at prices that are blowing everyone's mind, especially the competition. Visit Twin City Yamaha on Stage Road in Auburn.
Hi, this is Scott Tway with Twin Cities Yamaha in Auburn. Isn't it about time to put some fun back in your life? Call us and see what we mean. 334-821-0439 or on the web at www.twincitiesyamaha.com.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Your comfort is our number one concern. Advanced heat and air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our number one concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Hello, I'm Harvey B. Campbell Jr., the manager and founding partner of Alabama Consumer Law, LLC. We are a law firm dedicated to helping you, the consumer, from all kind of debt issues. We can handle Chapter 13s, Chapter 7s, and Chapter 12s, and Chapter 11s if you need help.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. We are a debt relief agency. We are a private company. We are not associated with any state or federal government agency.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you, gotta get to Gills. Selection and price, gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Welcome back, everyone. A couple more segments left in tonight's program. It's time for the Players of the Week.
That's exactly right. Looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. We will...
literally looking forward to the Players of the Week. So, hey, let me just say one thing before we get started. Let me just say one thing. And were you going to do an airing of grievances tonight? I don't think you had it built in.
I had it. It's always.
Can I start?
In. Please.
The Opelika Auburn News. Okay.
OA News.
The OA News. Welcome to fall camp, University of Auburn football. Anybody guess what's wrong with that statement? I mean, I can understand if this was Cedar Rapids, Iowa, writing a story about Auburn football, or some paper out in Sacramento, California, or somewhere down in the Dominican Republic, or somebody. But in your own county, city limits area, the college in your area, University of Auburn, who wrote that? And what editor let it go out?
That's the saddest thing. It's supposed to be checked and double checked.
That's a grievance for you right there.
That's
Rodney Dangerfield.
Pat Dye said the University of Auburn, didn't he?
He did.
He didn't know any better.
He didn't. He was coming.
He's a Georgia guy.
Yeah, he was, and he was. Well, that was University of Georgia, and he'd been out at Wyoming, and so he was coming back to the South, and he just thought everything was University of.
And now it's time for the Players of the Week.
There we go.
And I'll let you begin.
Okay. The Lee Apparel Lake Martin Area Player of the Week is Paige King, Reeltown High School, and I met Paige today, actually.
That's coincidental.
At CAC Connect. The Lady Rebel signed her official letter of intent with Central Alabama Community College to play softball. Very talented young lady. Nice. Her mother was nice. Looking forward to having Paige as part of the Central Alabama Community College Trojans there, and she gets the Lake Martin Area Player of the Week.
Wonderful. The Concrete Talladega County Player of the Week is Camille Buchanan, Talladega High School. Talladega High School basketball standout Camille Buchanan, that's kind of redundant, verbally committed to the University of Memphis. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to play some college basketball. The River Region, new one. We're welcoming this one to the mix of our players of the week. The Lee Marketing Group River Region Player of the Week. LaDedrick Jackson, the City Lanier High School, the linebacker, commits to the University of Missouri. And there was a slew of players, 3 actually in the River Region, that committed to the Tigers. Missouri coming down here to the Deep South, grabbing 3 players to go up to Missouri. So congratulations to LaDedrick Jackson.
Everybody recognizing the talent in Alabama. Interlink, Lee County Player of the Week, LaDamian Webb from Beauregard High School. Alabama's 2016 Mr. Football has committed to continue his football career at Mississippi State University or the University of Mississippi State, whichever you want to go.
You know, however, if it's OA News, they can print it that way. So LaDamian Webb, standout, a junior winning Mr. Football. Could he come back and do it for the second time?
Has it been done before?
We'll have to see. I don't think it has.
Interesting.
Final, maybe the final, we'll have to check and see. The Russell Do It Center, Russell Building Supply, AHSA Radio Network Player of the Week is Jacob McNary from Athens High School. The 2018 right-handed pitcher, second baseman, tweeted Monday night that he is committed to the University of Alabama. He was selected first-team All-State and All-Huntsville region as a second baseman, and there right away you see the impact of Bohannon coming from Auburn over to the University of Alabama, snatching a very talented player out of North Alabama.
Hope he does well at Alabama University. That's going to wrap up the Sportz Blitz Players of the Week. Congratulations to them all. We'll be back with one final segment and wrap up the show right after this.
My parents saved a bunch of money on their new car. My dad said we got a better car for less money.
My mom's wildly happy.
We even saved enough to get a new swing set. This saving money thing is really cool.
And right now, during the Honda Summerbration sales event at Sarah Honda, get model year-end clearance pricing on all remaining 2017s. Save up to $3,100 off MSRP. Visit us today at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Get out and go in a new Altima, just $18,988. During the Nissan Now sales event, a new 2017 Altima is just $18,988 at Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sports Blitz Live.
The finality.
The first day of August. Can you believe that?
Where in the world is this year going?
It is flying by.
Bad.
We are going to finish up, as we do, with a little fun segment. Rank 'em. These are just some random things from the mind of Andy Grail.
The mind of Minolta.
That's right. Brett Pritchard. Rank 'em. Freddie Wagan, Lawyer Tillman, Trey Gaines, Greg Taylor, Shane Wasden. 80s receivers from Auburn.
That's easy for me.
University of Auburn.
University of Auburn, go. Lawyer Tillman 1, Freddie Wagan 2, Shane Wasden 3, Trey Gaines 4, and Greg Taylor is 5.
That's hard. That's about right. I mean, that's pretty much exactly how I would do it as well.
That's hard to beat that lineup.
Lawyer Tillman, man, I saw him in the mall one time, just randomly. It was a girl, and went up and got his autograph. I was just, this was 1986. No, probably, I don't know. But it was.
That was cool.
I thought it was great. My goodness, that's Lawyer Tillman.
I know. That's it.
Mrs. Robinson, The Sound of Silence, Cecilia, Bridge Over Troubled Water, The Boxer.
Man, what
Simon and Garfunkel songs.
What great. I mean, Randy and I actually went and saw Paul Simon last year in concert.
I remember,
it was really a good deal. Here we go. The Boxer 1, Sound of Silence 2, Troubled Waters 3, Cecilia 4, and Mrs. Robinson is 5.
You really can't go wrong here. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with The Boxer 1. I'm going to go with Mrs. Robinson 2. Sounds of Silence, Cecilia, Bridge Over Troubled Water last.
Wow, okay.
I know it's a great song.
Yeah,
but in this group, it's just as far as what I like.
Yeah.
I've heard it too much, maybe. That's
right. It's hard to rank it down there at last.
It is.
Boxer's definitely a unanimous one.
That's just a cool song. There's so many great lines in that song. M&M's, Peanut M&M's, Reese's Pieces, Skittles, Junior Mints. Rank them.
Wow, tough. I'm gonna go Junior Mints 1, Reese's Pieces 2, Peanut M&M's 3, M&M's 4, and Skittles 5.
I'm going to go Reese's Pieces number 1, Junior Mints number 2, Peanut M&M's, M&M's, Skittles. Not that I don't like Skittles.
But somebody's got to be last in this group.
Somebody's got to be last. All right, here we go.
Golly.
Rank them. The Usual Suspects, American Beauty, 7, L.A. Confidential, A Time to Kill. Do you know what the category is, right?
It's going to be, what's the actor's name?
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Movies. Rank them.
I'm going to go I'm going to go Time to Kill. A Time to Kill, American Beauty, 7, L.A. Confidential, and The Usual Suspects.
Wow.
That's how I'm going to do it.
Wow. I'm going to go The Usual Suspects number 1 by a good margin. I'm going to go L.A. Confidential, Time to Kill, 7, American Beauty.
7?
7 was great.
What are you, 7 down there at the bottom?
Well, I mean,
7/4.
How can you put,
You had 7/4, didn't you?
Yeah, but how could you put, the L.A. Confidential was just tremendous.
Yes, it was. Well, all 5 of them are great movies.
Time to Kill.
How did you not like
Turn
American
him loose.
Beauty?
He's a hero.
American Beauty.
American Beauty was, it was okay.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's an interesting movie, but I would put
it
it
is
last.
a bizarre, out there he's infatuated with the daughter of the.
Yeah. All right, 2-time Academy Award Best Actress winners. Sally Field, Meryl Streep, Hilary Swank, Jodie Foster, Ingrid Bergman. Rank them.
I'm going to go Jodie Foster 1 for me. Now, this is personal preference, right?
Yeah.
Jodie Foster 1, Hilary Swank 2, Sally Field 3, Ingrid Bergman 4, Meryl Streep 5.
I'm going to go Ingrid Bergman, Sally Field, Meryl Streep, Jodie Foster, Hilary Swank. And that's how we do it. We're up against the end of the show.
You got to do the last one.
You got to do the rest really quick. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, 4th of July, your birthday.
Wow, man. That's hard to do real quick. If you're arrogant, you go birthday 1, but I'm going to go Christmas 1, Halloween 2, 4th of July 3, Thanksgiving 4, and birthday 5, because I'm not arrogant.
I'm going to go Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, 4th of July, birthday.
Okay, we're not arrogant.
We're not
arrogant.
No. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Be sure to join us on Saturday, Rise and Shine at 7 a.m., and then again on Tuesday
I think
next
it's
week.
me and you again. It's a heavy
I
dose
think
of
we
me
are.
and you.
Brett and I'll be with you. I'll be your guest host. More to for Brett Pritchard, I'm Andy Graham. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offers full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it all and advise you on all your needs. Buying and selling real estate is important to the professionals at Century 21. Lake Area Realty are your friends in real estate. Call or visit lakearearealty.net.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car?
Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
The door's open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Foshee Sportz on Dable Road in Alexander City. Fishing season is in year-round and live bait is available. Non-ethanol gas is available along with propane and pellet ice. So come on by and see what we're all about, where the kitchen is open Monday through Friday early at Foshee Sportz on Dable Road in Alexander City. And tell them old Katie sent you right here from the front porch, WAXC TV.